J.D. Vance is reconsidering his presidential run for 2028. Oh, he's blaming it on family. You know, his wife is having a baby. I think she's due in the summer sometime. And so he's just not sure where his family will be at that time. So he's reconsidering his run for president in 2028. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you've come across this video and are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I welcome you. I call bullshit on the reason why J.D. Vance is reconsidering his presidential run for 2028. I don't believe that it has anything to do with him expecting another child, because if he were to become president, she would have all of the nannies, all of the cooks, all of the maids. I don't think it has anything to do with a fourth. I believe he has 3, so this would be the 4th child coming. I believe it has everything to do with Donald Trump and this Iran war. What say you? The Washington Post reports Vice President J.D. Vance is projecting loyalty to Donald Trump as the president leads the United States into the type of war the Iraq veteran didn't want, and as the new conflict complicates Vance's political future. The Washington Post goes on to say, Vance allies have played down the impact the operation in Iran. You notice they are calling it an operation, a conflict. They don't want to use the word war when Donald Trump repeatedly says that it's a war. But back to what the Washington Post is reporting. Vance allies have played down the impact the operation in Iran could have on his presidential ambitions, insisting that a mission involving the U.S. military only for a matter of weeks won't stay in voters' memories. Oh, but I beg to differ, because people like me like to remind those who follow her all of what these politicians have done and said in the past. And God willing, I will be right here to remind everyone, should J.D. Vance run for president, I will be here to remind everyone that J.D. Vance once spoke out against never-ending wars and making promises that he would steer clear of war. But yet here we are in a war with Iran. Back to the article. People close to the vice president have also conceded to the Washington Post, however, that a months-long conflict would pose a problem for whoever is the next Republican nominee. The people spoke on the condition of anonymity to comment on private discussions. Donald Trump putting the United States into yet another war for Israel, another country, I might add. It's not boding too well for J.D. Vance. And the fact that J.D. Vance really doesn't want to speak on the situation and wants to refer back to Donald Trump whenever he's asked about the war with Iran, it's not boding well for him either. J.D. Vance is being held accountable and responsible for Donald Trump's actions, as it should, because remember how they held Kamala Harris accountable and responsible for the actions of Joe Biden. So he's got that issue that he's dealing with. And on top of that issue, He's got this little pesky person by the name of Nick Fuentes out there on social media tearing JD Vance a new one every opportunity he gets. This is just some of the things that Nick Fuentes is saying out there in those social media streets when it comes to JD Vance.
And America First Republicans cannot vote for regular Republicans that don't put America first. Are you serious about realizing America first, or are you just paying lip service to it? Do you want things to change? Do you believe fundamentally that things should change? Are you serious about that? Or are you content to let the country continue fighting Israel's wars and then complain about it on Twitter? Campaign for Trump, vote for Trump, and then throw your arms up and act exasperated when he brings us to war in Iran. This is why I say that in 2028, I'm an undecided voter. I'm not going to vote for JD Vance. I'm not necessarily going to vote Republican. I doubt I'll vote Democrat. I'm undecided. And I'm undecided because now that I am a leader in the movement, now that I have an audience, now that everybody's listening, we have to take this to the next level and say, I don't want to be told, oh, poor guy, you were attacked. Now you are a bitter hater. No, I was right, and I am here to claim my prize. And my prize is that I influence a lot of young conservative men that the GOP needs, that they know they need to win an election. And I don't say this out of bitterness, and I don't say this for any personal reasons. I will not vote for Republicans. I will not deliver my audience to vote for Republicans if Republicans don't put America first. And if Republicans lose because they're not willing to do that, I am perfectly happy to allow them to do that to themselves. But don't blame me. Blame yourselves.
That was back in October. Since then, Nick Fuentes has come out to encourage all of his supporters to vote for the Democrats. And he's doing it loudly over there on his platform on Rumble. There's more.
We don't give up our vote to JD Vance, who disappeared. By the way, where is JD Vance? Where did he go? It's so weird, isn't it? JD. I love how his wife says his name, don't you? She goes, JD, like that's a word and not two letters. JD. And they're trying to create this image of him like he's this friendly guy. He's this friendly, amicable guy. Why? Hey, that's the kind, even though he's fat and ugly, he's the kind of guy that would give you a ride home from work. He's the kind of guy that would play Halo 3 with you all night and drink Code Red Mountain Dew, right? JD, where the fuck is this guy? The most online vice president in history, throwing himself in front of the cameras always, doing the Charlie Kirk show at the Charlie Kirk Memorial at Turning Point USA, America Fest. Throwing himself in front of everything, getting that fat, ugly face in front of the camera as much as possible, getting ready for 28. Where did he go? JD, are you under there? Are you under here? Are you in here? Where did he go? Have you ever noticed that whenever the Trump administration totally shits the bed and fucks up, that JD Vance is nowhere to be seen? Like when the Epstein files were released, and then JD didn't tweet for like 2 weeks. Remember that?
Yep.
You get 3 million documents that come out about Trump like eating fecal matter out of babies' intestines or something, and Bill Gates having an STD from Russian whores. You're reading all this crazy stuff, and then our extremely online poster-in-chief, our extremely online based Baptist vice president, he follows Curtis Yarvin on Twitter. Well, he just stopped tweeting for 2 weeks. Where did he go? Must be in the same place as Hunter Biden's laptop. Now we're in a war with Iran yet again. Nowhere to be seen. Where is he? Where did he go? I love it. And you're telling me that's going to be our guy?
Nick Fuentes has been riding J.D. Vance's ass every opportunity he gets. Now, he's got a couple of rants out there about J.D. Vance and his wife that are slur-ridden. I'm not going to share those, but I will share one more clip.
Something has gone horribly wrong. All of those people, with some exceptions, were never Trumpers in 2016. Shapiro didn't vote for Trump in 16. Mark Levin was critical of Trump in 2016. Where were these people when the movement was actually born, when those pillars were in place? Now all of those people are in the center. The movement is something else now. And what we need in 2028, this is our last chance. We need in 2026 for this administration to be shut the fuck down. What does this administration do other than cover up the Epstein files, embezzle money through government contracts, and bring us to war for Israel? This administration needs to be shut down immediately. Do not vote in the midterms. And if you do, vote for Democrats. Fuck this. That is what the Republicans deliver. That is what our golden age looks like. The tariffs were refunded. The deportations were stopped. They wound down and withdrew the ICE from Minneapolis. What does this administration do other than embezzle money, go to war with Iran, and bury the Epstein files? Oh, and blackmail Harvard so they police anti-Semitism and ban people who criticize Israel from being in America. This administration needs to be shut down immediately. It has forfeited its mandate. They promise no new wars. They promise mass deportations in America first. And we're not getting any of it. So shut it down. In 2026, shut it down. And our only hope is that in 2028, in the Republican primary, somebody will emerge who will actually put America first. I am not voting for the vice president and the secretary of state that brought us to war in Iran. I won't do it. 2026, shut it down. You got to burn the house down with them inside, metaphorically. And in 28, you better hope that somebody has a prayer to run the Trump strategy and do another hostile takeover over the GOP. Otherwise, I'm going to become a Democrat. Like, at that point, rather than be beholden to this country, that is our last chance. 28 Republican primary, we need a Trumpian figure to relight the candle. Someone needs to take the flame and take it further than Trump. He needs to take the baton and take it further and fulfill America first. That is the only way out of this at this point. And anybody that is not on this is not serious. The only takeaway that I have from all of these events, you are not pressuring this administration. All these people told us, if Trump brings us to war in Iran, we'll just tweet about it. Yeah, well, that's not really working, is it?
That is one of the biggest problems that J.D. Vance has. That guy right there, encouraging his millions of groypers to vote Democrat. Another one of his problems is Candace Owens. Candace Owens going after Erica Kirk. Candace Owens is very publicly saying that she cannot stand what Republicans have become. They have reached out to her. I heard her say in one of those videos I watched that they've been reaching out to her, asking her why is she not talking about politics and the primary. She said, "Are you kidding me? I can't stand any of you." She is tearing Donald Trump and J.D. Vance apart. Another problem is that they have is with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been very vocal, letting everybody know that J.D. Vance spoke out loudly against war. And now he's silent. She has been saying he needs to come out against this war. And he hasn't done that. What he said the other day, he basically said he stands in support of Donald Trump and his decisions. So yeah, I bet he's reconsidering his presidential run for 2028. But it's not because of his family. It's because he's seeing the writing on the wall. Tucker Carlson is also coming out against this war and saying that J.D. Vance needs to come out against it. I'm here for it. Oh, y'all like this cup? I got this cup. This is also from Home Goods. It's a little flower. See the little flower right there? Yeah. I love this for J.D. Vance.